Hi and welcome to So Fantastic. In this video, you will learn how to cut a bustier pattern with keyhole neckline. As usual, I'll be using a Natalie Bray pattern. I have done the waist shaping and this pattern was traced from the shoulder to hip. So let's get started. Start by measuring your desired neck depth for your bustier, and I marked down from the original neck depth here. So I want to use 5 inches for my bustier. Feel free to mark whatever you want for yours. And if you have measured yourself or your client for this, that's even better. So mark and rule across. I want to take some time to explain how to do the shoulder tightening. And this is for you at Anna, Dami, and other viewers who have reached out about not understanding the methods I have shown in the past. This method is easy to grasp, especially for beginners, but anyone can apply it and you will still achieve the same result. Measure half an inch on this side of the shoulder dart. Mark the same thing on the other side and connect to the bust point here. Another way to tighten the shoulder dart is by measuring your chest width. So let's say you have measured the neck depth down and across the chest from that point. You will now measure what you have on the pattern. Mine is 7.5 and my chest width is 13 inches. So I will divide 13 by 2, which is 6.5. Then subtract 6.5 from 7.5, which is what I measured on the paper. I am left with 1 inch, right? I will now share this 1 inch on the sides of the shoulder dart. I will mark half an inch on each side. However, it's not in all cases that you have 1 inch to share. Sometimes it's more than that. Whatever you have marked, connect to the bust point. This is another simple way to tighten the shoulder dart. With this method, you are sure that the bustier will fit around your chest perfectly. Now, let's do the underbust tightening because this gives the bustier a lovely curve around the bust area. Mark the shoulder to underbust and rule across. Measure the line. I have 11 inches and I'll note it down. Then divide your underbust circumference by 4. Mine is 31 divided by 4, which is 7.5. Then I'll subtract that 7.5 from 11. I'm left with 3.25 and I'll share that on the sides of the middle dart leg at the waist. I am taking 1 inch from this side and 1.25 here. So calculate and share yours accordingly, and remember that you take less on this side and more on this side. Then connect from the bust point to the underbust tightening and down to the waist. On the other side, curve into the underbust tightening and then to the waist. Reblend these areas to make it easy when sewing. Extend the middle dart leg to the hip or the length of your blouse. Come to the side of the pattern paper and mark like 1 or 1.5 inches up. This step is optional, so just take it up and blend into any point along the hem. The neckline of a Natalie Bray pattern is usually too high, so what you want to do is lower it a bit so that the yoke doesn't choke the wearer. To create the keyhole shape on the yoke, I measured 1.5 inches up from the neckline here, and you can make it higher or lower depending on how you want it to look. After marking that here, I marked 1 inch down at the neckline and connected to this point like this. because it's a sweetheart neckline, and I connected up to the keyhole point from here. So this is what creates the keyhole effect. You will cut off this part entirely. Remember that you have the shoulder dart here and you have tightened the neckline. This might make the yoke bigger than the Bustier's neckline. I usually just wait till I am sewing, and if I have any excess, I just cut it out carefully so it doesn't distort the armhole curve. For the back, extend the middle dart leg up to this point. Do a bit of tightening here by measuring 0.25 inches on both sides of the line and connect back to the waist. You also need to lower the neckline of the back, and if you have any shoulder darts here, cut it off. I also shaped the back yoke, but I just connected it this way. No need for any measurement. And like you did in front, extend the middle dart leg, mark 1.5 inches up at the side, and blend into the back pattern. So this is the front yoke and the back yoke. Now it's time to cut it out. Before cutting out the yoke, slash the middle dart leg up to the bust point. Cut through the armhole. Then close the shoulder dart along the shoulder tightening, not the original shoulder dart on the pattern. You will notice that the neckline of the bustier is not well aligned. Just reshape the neckline of the bustier. You can use a ruler or freehand. You do this to ensure that one part of the bustier is not longer than the other when sewing. So cut the rest of the bustier. For the keyhole yoke, close the original shoulder dart. I quickly aligned the shoulder dart because I skipped that step while drafting the pattern. I also filled this tiny space here on the yoke pattern because I don't want it to give me issues when sewing. Then went ahead to cut the rest of the pattern. After that, I pinned the pieces on the fabric and marked all allowances. I am making a lace blouse, so I cut the underlining first, then the lace. Now, I want to show you how to pad a bustier using wadding to give the bust structure without cups. I ironed stay on all the pieces to give the fabric more structure. The secret to a well-padded bustier is proper underbust tightening. If the underbust tightening is not done correctly, no matter how much you pad or attach cups, you won't achieve the structure you desire. So make sure to tighten the underbust well. You can use bra foam or wadding like I'll do in this video. So this is the bust point and this is the underbust point. This is the wadding. It's the thick type. Now fold the wadding and place any piece of the bustier on it. I am starting with the center piece. I usually place the pattern paper on it too, so I am sure of the underbust point. So just place and cut. Cut out ½ inch from the top. You don't want wadding anywhere near the neckline as it will make it bulky and difficult to turn with lining. Take the side piece, place it on the wadding and cut it. Be sure to stop at the underbust. Cut out ½ inch at the top. Now, on the side of the wadding, use your curved ruler to shape like this, as if you want to shape a cupped corset. If the ruler isn't giving you a nice curve, just use freehand. Cut out the excess and do the same thing on the other side. Now pin the bustier pieces together and sew them like you would normally. After sewing, iron the seams open. You will need to iron it well. A tailor's hammer comes in handy for this task. I am using one that I DIY'd in this video. After ironing, I cut this strip of paper stay and ironed it on the open seams. You can use paper stay or hemming glue. This also gives the bustier structure and keeps the padding in place. I hope you learned something here today. Like, subscribe, and comment if you have any requests, questions, or suggestions. I know the videos displayed on your screen right now will interest you, so check them out for more helpful and exciting tutorials.